Hey everyone, Spicy Toast Gaming here. Hope you're having a great day. Hope this video can make it a little bit better for you. This is actually going to be a clip from one of my live streams. If you want a link to my Twitch channel to see me playing any of this live, or a link to the main channel, both will be in the description down below. If you enjoy the video, a like and subscribe is always appreciated, and let's get into it. We might play some of these, but the thing I think we're going to test out first is Varus. I don't think we've played him in a very long time. He's actually... I think he's stronger than like Lee Sin, but they're actually pretty close in how much I enjoy playing them, which is a little sad, especially since like his 3-star is one of the most busted sounding abilities, especially when it first came out. So when you target an ally with a single target spell, copy it on your strongest ally. So just spell duplication for a whole bunch of your spells. Really good. And then your 2-star, +1 starting mana, round start, reduce the cost of spell in your deck by 1, then create an exact fleeting copy of it. So you have cost reduction baked in, you have spell generation baked in, and then you also have spell duplication baked in. So on the surface, he just seems crazy. And so if they ever update him with a constellation, he has the potential to go pretty hard because he has a lot of very good power here. But honestly, his kit doesn't actually feel that good. It's kind of like Victor's 6-star, but another type of cards. Yeah, it's... I remember when he first came out, I saw these star powers, I was like, man, he's going to be busted. And then he actually wasn't that great. He's kind of just fine. Yeah. We're going to try a build with him that's also going to be very not focused on him. It's just going to be focused on playing a bunch of cards and kind of supporting all of our general units. So we're going for Secret Technique. When an ally gains stats from a spell, it gains twice that many. This is good because a lot of spells we're going to be playing are going to be stat-focused spells. So being able to get increased stats on those with the duplication, very good. Perfect Hex Score, this is going to get copied on multiple targets, so we're able to trigger a lot of people's Faded, just get multiple keywords going, and this will count towards Varus's level up. So when we play him, he should be leveled or shortly thereafter. And then the Black Shield just to protect our units. Now Varus can have some very easy, strong builds that are normally pretty boring with the Hymn of Valor. When I'm someone creative, redouble Valor in hand, and this fully healed ally double its power and health. So you can pair this with Varus to have this go off twice, and it is very strong, especially because Varus can get Overwhelm, but it's pretty boring. So I think let's go ahead and grab this here. And sure, I think let's maybe go for Lissandra. Sure, let's go ahead and test this out. Yeah, Chosen does sound pretty good for Varus. Getting that augment and attune scales you up nicely. Let's go for support champion here, see if we can get anything solid. So Aphelios, he is going to have a lot of, well, some single target spells. Pretty much just our Severum and Infernum, which isn't terrible. We also have the Mountain Goat that can make some gems, so he could be pretty solid. Lilia could be okay. I always like Hecarim, especially with the Shark Chariot. This is like one of my favorite cards in the game. Absolutely love it. So I often do go for him, but I think Aphelios could be interesting. Especially since I think we have a fairly decent chance of getting Aphelios soon. Alright, that should just be really good. I think we probably have it on ×4. Oh no, actually just have it on ×2. Let's go to ×3. I generally like that for stream. Yeah, life still be very nice. Alright, so this one would go off twice. Silence 2 enemy units this round. This does have power with baseline. That could be very, very good. Double attack Brainworm. I actually really like the Brainworm because when this gets doubled, it can discard multiple cards. So I think let's go there. This would give us 2 gems, which could be pretty good. But I think I want to go for this Moonlight. If we could generate some of these and cast those, that would be really good. Steal an enemy follower this round. So it's already being cost reduced, and then we get it again, potentially. I mean, again, it's a funny way to mess with the enemy. I think we kind of will, just in the off chance we can, like, take some of their really big, scary units. I think that could be pretty hilarious, so sure. Champion item, fine, so let's go for Yeti Yearling. Could be really fun to, like, take their Watcher, or just... A lot of these places are going to have really big units, so just taking them for ourselves. If Varus is a rogue and gets the Constellation, 4th star is Fated. I feel like there's too many people that already have Fated as a 4th star. Although... So, I don't know. They do already have that. I was thinking that they, like, probably go for Spellburn, but they already have, like, 2 to 3 people that have that. I think Spellburn would be pretty good, though. But yeah, Fated would work as well. Phalanx, yeah, Phalanx is such a good 4-star. Like... Phalanx is probably one of the best 4-stars in the game. Not only because it's so strong, but because it's so fun to play around. Let's throw this in our deck. Same with the Possession and the Freed Colossus. So we want to put a lot of spells in our deck so that they can get cost reduced down and then given back to us. Because like every time we see one of these that's now fleeting, that means the one in our deck has gotten cost reduced down. So that's pretty good. Sure, let's open with Mountain Goat because this can give us some gems. Let's drop this here to silence both of those. And we'll actually just not worry about killing them. So they won't be able to block, but the big thing is they won't die to the end of the round. We're going to get mana back every round, so we don't need to bank any mana. We could try to steal the Yeti Yearling. Sure, let's steal this so it hopefully dies on our side. And then we're going to buff up this unit right here. Alright, so perfect. This is going to die, but since it's dying on our side, then they're not going to get the bonus from it. At least they shouldn't. Yeah, let's go ahead and play this again. Just because I like getting rid of their cards. So yeah, we get the Yeti, they get nothing. And we now have an elusive. Yeah, this is just going to give us so many keywords. And just like that, we can actually end just with this card. GG. Why the ephemeral? Because we didn't... That one was guaranteed to die at the end of the round, and we didn't want them to be able to have it die to further scale up their units, get another Yeti. That's why we grabbed that one. Because since we're only having it for the round, getting the one that wasn't ephemeral wasn't really going to help us either. Now, if they weren't the Yetis, and so when the Yeti dies, they scale up all their other Yetis, and that one had a less breath effect, yeah, it would have been smarter to get the one that's not ephemeral since it would have died at the end of the round. But we don't want them to get that death, which is why we went for it. Boomerang Blade is very good. It is quite expensive. It would get cost reduced down. Would give us a lot of removal. Furious Wielder, our unit has to be equipped, and we don't really have a lot of equipment. Like, we have Varus, but we're not really an equipment-focused deck. And honestly, we're probably going to cut this. So honestly, if we grab this, we still might just cut it. Yeah, we can grab this and end up cutting it at our next opportunity, which honestly, we don't actually get many opportunities to cut, so it might be a little while. Aphelios, Varus. I think we'll still stick with Varus, even though we kind of don't care about either one. So let's go for the spells chest, try to get something fun, potentially. Although I do hate both of these. Fine, we can go for Scavenger. Not gonna lie, I feel like Varus is significantly better than Lee with his powers. Ice Straight feels more like a 4-star to me. Oh, I agree. When I compared him to Lee Sin, I said they're both kind of equal in that I don't really like playing them. But as far as actual power, no, I'd say Varus is much better than Lee Sin, 100%. Let's put the possession back in our deck. This is okay, especially since we have Varus, the one person that can actually use Furious Wielder. All right, let's drop this one here. I think let's actually drop this here. Just getting some cards out of their hand I feel like could be really nice. Overwhelm is solid. Honestly, if we didn't play that other card, we could have done the Overwhelm, get some good damage down. But I like making them discard. Alright, that's fine. So that's a give, stun, give. Yeah, the fact that their give spells isn't quite as nice. I think we'll still go for the Severum, though. We do have to be a little careful. Sure, let's go ahead and give this Overwhelm. We just don't want to run out of space. Aw, that's sad. Alright, so these are grants, so let's go ahead and play this just to get them out of hand. And I suppose we can drop our Varus. Alright, so he already has Overwhelm. Let's give this one Overwhelm over here. Alright, so we won't be able to end, but this will be a good amount of damage. Solid.
Deluded fools.
That's one of our cards. Let's go ahead and drop this here and kill them. And sure. We'll just keep on striking. Oh my word. Alright, so we'll be able to open attack this next round and end the game. GG. Not too bad. The condition to draw Varus is pretty easy as far as I remember with the Origin, which makes it a non-issue anyways. Yeah, he's... I think it's just play like 3 of the cultist spells. There we go. Once you play 3 cultist spells, draw Varus, and this one right here, since it counts as twice for Varus, because he doubles it, you play this once and then you have 2 out of 3, and so you just have to play like 1 more, so either the Furious Wielder or this again. So this can also get doubled or generated for you as a fleeting card, although it's less likely because of the far sight. But yeah, his draw effect isn't too bad. Pale Cascade isn't terrible. Has that Nightfall draw 1. Sure, I like that better than the others. What a messed up turn that was, especially for the enemy. Yeah, they kept getting absolutely destroyed. I like getting this. Getting some more copies of it is nice. All right, let's go for Mirror Mage. Actually, you know what? I'm going to hold on to the Furious Wielders. That way they're not in our deck, so they're less likely to get kind of in our way. Let's... I want to play one of these.
Something to reflect upon.
I don't want them to immediately pass. Draw a unit. Probably want to do this next round, even though we like have the mana. Would draw another unit. I think we're fine. Alright, we'll drop a Aphelios. We won't be able to get his Nightfall effect off. They are out of mana, so they're about to attack. Going for a gift here. Sure. Let's go for the Overwhelm. And I don't think we'll necessarily drop it here. So they're strong enough to kill our unit. Let's go ahead and buff them up so we can actually block anyone. Alright, that's not too bad. We could play Varus, but I think we're fine. We do generate a ton of spells. We could play Varus. He would level. Fine.
Beware those who have nothing to lose.
Alright, let's go ahead and attack like this. Get their Mirror Mage off the board. Let's go for Moonlight and silence both of those. And we can start going for a Furious Wielder and see if we can kind of do anything. Sure, well, we'll see if we can get some extra copies of them. Well, there's one. We'll block here and here. And block, or try to hit that one right there. Alright, not too bad. Can we get them all? Apparently, yes. Also, whatever's going to be on the top of our deck is going to be absolutely massive. Oh. I think let's go for the Mountain Goat. I like that double attack. Let's drop our Moonlight. So this will make it so they can't block, and then we can attack. Although we won't have enough mana, to play our Severum.
Because it must.
So we are relatively low, which isn't the best. But I also don't really want to delay. Let's just, go ahead and end. What do you think would be a good 6-star for Kayn? I think there's a couple ways they could go for it. They could go for something that kind of bakes in Kayn's kill effects, although it would be a little bit similar to Aatrox. I was thinking, like, Aatrox has when you strike a unit, you heal your Nexus 2. At least I think he has that kind of baked in. I was thinking for Kayn, if you kill an enemy, or if one of your units kills an enemy, they're already healing to full, they're already getting the 2/2. You could then have an added effect where you're maybe healing your Nexus 2, or you're then damaging enemy units. Actually, it would probably be better instead of having like a damage effect go off from your Nexus, have something where when one of your units kills an enemy unit, it then strikes like the weakest enemy or maybe the strongest. Something that's very focused on slaying enemy units, because that's what Kayn is all about. So making that part even more rewarding, I think could be fun. Because he's not really a Darkin deck. Like, while he is technically a Darkin and he becomes a Darkin, like, Aatrox is the one that's all about having a bunch of Darkin going. For me, Kayn is more about killing enemy units and trying to scale off of killing their units. And while you have some equipment, some Darkin, that's not really the point of the deck. So yeah, something I would think doubling down on kill spell or kill effects and maybe making it easier so you can kind of chain kills together could be pretty solid. I was thinking it would be too close to Warwick, but like if you kill a unit, at the end of the round, your strongest unit strikes another one. But that's also similar to like Kindred. So that's not necessarily the best. It would be interesting though of, yeah, that would also be similar to Pike. When you kill a unit, you then strike the next weakest. They could maybe flip that and make it so when you kill a unit, you then strike the strongest. So that's either flat out killing that unit, and so it does like a reverse Pike effect, or makes it just so you start whittling down the biggest units. You maybe are killing all the small ones, and by doing that, it's kind of trying to whittle down the big one. But a lot of those I feel like are going to be too close to either like Warwick round end strike a target, or Kindred round end kill a target that's marked, or just Pike and his level up effect. Some adventures make it a bit too hard to trigger his 3-star. Yeah, so something that can help you get those kills and start securing your scaling, because unlike Garen or Tom Kench, it's hard for Kane to get his scaling off, because Tom Kench is just take damage. There's a lot of ways you can cheese that. You can damage your own units. For Garen, it's getting strikes off. A little bit harder than Tom Kench, but still relatively easy. You don't actually have to kill anyone. You just have to have your unit survive. But for Kane, you actually have to not only kill the enemy unit, but then have your unit survive in order to heal up. So it is a lot harder. Some ways to make that easier could be nice. Here, Startled Stomper, not bad. Summon, draw a spell. It's okay, but we're kind of having too many cards as it is. Also, drawing a spell, that takes it out of our deck, meaning we don't potentially get that one generated. I think I'd rather just go for the Startled Stomper. Having that nice Overwhelm could be pretty solid. Let's try to go here for it that stairs. Rush them down, Explosive Finale. We're getting some kills right now with our Furious Wielder, but we're probably going to cut this since pretty much only Varus can use this, and we don't really like that. Although all the other ones are kind of worthless. Let's do a reroll. I think let's go for, well, all three of these are actually excellent, because this gives us more cost reduction. Armed Gearheads, they both have that augment, so we'd be able to scale them up like insane. But Phalanx is also really, really good, especially since we have the Victor Relic. So I think we'll go for Phalanx, but all of these are actually excellent. Let's go for It That Stares. Kane's 6-star could maybe not only heal, but buff the units for the amount healed. Yeah, so Kane's effects are normally, or they are a grant, full heal and like grant 2/2. You could maybe make it so that when you kill an enemy, you heal your Nexus 2 and give all of your units 2/2 this round. So potentially you can try to get some kills, which then snowballs into you getting a lot more kills. I think it being like a grant would be probably a little bit too strong, but maybe something that's rewarding you for getting some kills early, maybe before your attack, or then it's kind of rewarding how you are positioning. So you could have some units at the start of your attack line that are able to get some kills, and then by doing that, they're buffing up your other units down the line so that they can also trade positively. There's some interesting stuff. Hello, Torcat. Welcome. Let's see. Kane is actually someone that he would count as a roguish character, so he could work. Granted, I don't really feel like they're going to want to do Runeterra necessarily, just because it's a region that already has a lot. Let's give it a Moonlight. We want that in our deck. We don't really care about that one. These two are fine. Yeah, Kane is actually a lot of fun to play, so I wouldn't mind if he got something. Alright, so they aren't going to have anything that they can play this round, so we just want to buff this one up as much as possible. Also, just discarding their cards is fantastic. So there goes like half their health. These gems are going to be a little bit of a problem. Do we want to play Varus already? Actually, we don't have quite enough.
The journey is difficult.
Let's
Things will protect you.
drop some of
I
these,
will end their cyclical war.
and all their cards are gone.
Say these were from the protector himself.
It would be nice if we could just open attack and end before they can do anything, which I think we should be able to do here.
These gems grant a wearer harmony.
This double attack is so strong. GG. Yeah, I just feel he was really nice before they introduced Deadly, and in some adventures can still win, but it gets really hard sometimes. Yes, if Kane is very much a snowball / feast and famine champion, so if you're not able to start getting those kills early and start snowballing your units, he can feel absolutely terrible. Now, if he can start getting that to happen early, he can feel really, really good. And I absolutely love his Double Stalker's Blade and the treasure chest. Forgetting the name right now, but pulls out the highest cost unit other than lower than your base cost. Anyways, that one is very good. So, Found Fortune, yeah. Double Stalker's Blade and Found Fortune, super, super fun for Kane. Highly recommend anyone that has that. And he actually feels pretty solid with it. He's a pretty good 3-star, especially if you use him in the right situation where you know you can actually get some kills. Felios, Barrier. Don't really care what get more copies of him. Sure, we can go for the Gift from Beyond. And let's try to go the hard route. So let's go for Messenger. Yeah, Kane is... I mean, there's a lot of champions that them getting an upgrade would be a lot of fun. Although, I do kind of hope we get a new champion next patch. I would think so. Like, I would hope that Akshan is very high on the list. Although, to be honest, I'm excited for Akshan because he's a 2-cost. And he does have a landmark gimmick, so it could be fun. At the same time, I've never really cared about Akshan, and he also is another like targeting champion, and we have a ton of targeting champions already. So I'm actually not that excited for him, but I think it could be interesting. Let's get rid of Yulia. I hate this card because I never know how to pronounce it. And let's get rid of both of these because we know we're drawing them. Yeah, we can drop our Mountain Goat.
Oh, yeah, that's a pretty
Let's immediately go for the Hex Core upgrade. We could try to steal one of their units. Possession or momentous choices to try to get rid of 2 of their cards isn't bad. I suppose let's wait and see what they do.
We chart our path by the stars.
I do kind of hate that card. What's their effect again? The foe summons messenger. If the foe has 3 or more messengers, they get a fleeting star bonus. So they have to have messengers. We could go for a possession just to try to reduce down their likelihood of attack. Sure, it's fleeting, so it's going to go away anyways. We're grabbing this one because if they attack, we could block and make sure it died. Alright, they didn't want to attack then. Let's see if we get lucky and get Overwhelm. We did not. That's a little unfortunate. Let's go for a gift and get our Infernum. Hopefully we don't get obliterated. Alright, they're not doing it, so we are just going to go for as much damage as possible. It's a lot of damage. They have 2 messengers. I hate this card because it does just make their celestial cards cost less. But sure, let's try to get rid of one of the messengers. So yeah, most of their effects are gone.
As though day and night are not equal.
They are going hard right now. All right, let's go for possession on the Golden Sister. So if they try to attack us, we can just
Mind and open heart.
respond with a lifesteal. Will they actually attack? Will they just attack with that one? I want to have the mana for the Moonlight. We do have Spell Shield, so we're fine at the moment. Alright, let's silence these two. And then this way we can get rid of both their units. Well, technically we'll be able to heal up. Well, actually, no, it doesn't really matter. Alright, pretty good. So let's drop a gem right here to scale up this unit. And that should be game. We'll do a little bit more. Oh, right, we don't have Overwhelm. Right. Alright, this makes me worried because this gives them the chance to obliterate us.
I know these paths well.
There we go. Now we have the Overwhelm. GG. There's a few Shurima champs, and the set is roguish. Yeah, I feel like I kind of feel like they need to give us a new champion for the new patch. At least for the first month of the new event. So I'm thinking we'll get at least one new one. Maybe two, but I'm kind of just counting on one new one and then one getting updated. I think Diana, yeah, is pretty likely. If Akshan or Sivir don't show, I'll eat my hat. I mean, yeah, both of them perfectly fit roguish, so highly likely. Zed would be really fun, yeah. Let's get more copies of the Momentous Choice. Porous Next is good, but just getting more copies in our deck so we can get more of these. Like, I love making the enemy discard their cards. Let's go for Jubilant Poro, and we're only 2 health away from max, which I know you guys can't quite see. Let's give it gifts. And that one right there. Yeah, I think most of the regions are likely, since a lot of them are at like the 3 champions for constellations. I still think they're probably going to want to stay away from PNZ and Runeterra, just because those are the 2 regions that have the most. Let's go for the Startled Stomper. That Overwhelm is quite nice. And we go for a Momentous Choice here. Sure. We could silence them, but it shouldn't really matter. I mean, they might go and kill a Poro with their challenger. Yeah, actually, no, they didn't. Interesting. Sure, we can silence both of these. Yeah, they... Alright. So we could go for Varus already. Sure, it'll be fine.
Quiet our minds.
Alright, this should be able to level us, which will give us the Overwhelm, which is nice. Alright, we got Lifesteal, that's pretty great. I think we'll drop this just because it goes up twice. Again, we're going to kind of overdraw. Well. I think we'll keep these all back as blockers. And yeah, we'll attack like this. Alright, pretty good. Let's try to see if we can get some kills with the Furious Wielder. Although, let's maybe use this to scale up a little bit more. Alright, so now we can get rid of that one. It's going to be a little bad. That's by killing these, we are going to make everyone else a little stronger. think we'll wait to see if they attack.
I know what we are.
Alright, so this will be fine. Because also the damage they do, we're going to heal up some of it. Will we get it again? Alright, not quite. Let's drop this just to
For those who need it.
kind of use it.
These gems grant a wearer harmony.
We deliver their end.
Yeah, we are a little bit away.
Give in.
We'll do this one more time. And yeah, we're pretty much as high as we can go. We'll silence that so it can't block. And I guess since it's just 1 damage, we'll go ahead and kill it because we have that overwhelm. So yeah, good damage, but not quite enough to end. The possession does kind of crack me up. Like, it kind of doesn't matter. Because they're just gonna grab someone else. We could go for Furious Wielder. Yeah, sure. And equipped ally strikes an enemy, so yeah, we can't even use this on enemy units. Don't really want to go for Aphelios.
Our revenge comes first.
Oh my word, we're scaling him up too, because he's higher. That's, yeah, that'll be good.
Sapphire, gem of our divine patron.
Alright. GG. Imagine that with the 6+ from its own Nightfall, plus from Diana power, Nightfall, and double attack. Yes, but see, all the whole thing about copying Daybreak is that it technically only triggers 1 turn. The effect is double, it counts as 1, but you get 2 times the effect of all the stuff that triggers when Nightfall does, if I get it right. Don't have Leona, but I assume her 6-star doubles the if any Daybreak triggers grant me 1/1 thing. I believe it does. I'm pretty sure it copies your 3-star. Yeah, I think I mathed it out and checked before and after, and I think it did. We already are creating too many units from this, so Slipstream wouldn't be great. We already have a lot of Farsight, so that also isn't great. It's not a bad effect. I don't really like any of these, though. Transform an allied follower into a Wild Claw. So this would also target our strongest unit. So we get 2 becoming Wild Claw. This could be great if we don't have any of the big units, but also could be a serious problem. Yeah, Spell Shield can be nice for Lissandra. I suppose we'll grab this. Lissandra's 3 cards. A turn is such a Stonewall. Yeah, that really sucks for Varus. That will be fun. Shield, that'll actually be very good. Mystic Meditation is good, but this will give us so much survivability. Yeah, let's get rid of the Furious Wielder. It can be really good, but again, only our Varus can use it. And so far it's been really good just because we got insanely lucky. I like a lot of our other effects, so yeah, even though it can be really good, I think let's get rid of it. Rally's nice. Yeah. Heal an ally 4, grant it 4 health. This would go off twice, meaning the Stormcalling goes off twice. That's not bad. But I mean, more rallies to try to end faster could be very good. 1 cost, remove all negative keywords from it, so that would get rid of Frostbite. That's pretty good. Kill an enemy, take heart. This to go off twice, that's a really big effect. They have to be damaged, but it's not terrible. Champion draw on this. We don't get any extra items, so it's not the best in that regard. We don't really care about our champions too much. think let's try reroll, see if we can get something a little bit crazier. Iceborne can be nice, can backfire. But I think we'll try it. Let's try one more. Epic item will be very, very good. And this having elusive will actually be insane. Yeah, we can grab that. And sure, a 1-cost combat trick, that's pretty solid. That's okay. We probably won't have any gold, but also it shouldn't matter. Yeah, it's worth trying. Create messengers in your deck. Get 1 obliterate. Farsight. That's funny, but again, we have too many things we're drawing. Give an ally 2/2 and challenger this round. Or summoned an Honored Lord. I think we're fine. Let's try to go for Trundle. You know what would be really fun? A Nasus Relic that's Victor's, but with the Nasus Bunk. So you're like mixing Victor's and Nasus one together? I really hope they do a... Oh, you mean like every time you play a champion they get a random keyword? You mean like that? Oh, just Nasus champ spell every round? That would be pretty funny. That'd be fun. Victor, okay, generating the Hex Core but with the Nasus Relic. Okay, yeah, that would be a lot of fun because that would be great for Nasus, but then also good for anyone that just wants to stack champions or get some extra removal. That would be, yeah, would be pretty fun. I hope they do a relic like the one with Nasus, but instead of a play effect, it's a summon effect. Obviously, summon effects are very strong, so it couldn't be as strong of an effect as the one for Nasus. But I think that'd be fun. Here, let's get rid of gifts because we know we're drawing it regardless. And Moonlight, we want this in our deck so we can get some more cost reductions for it. Yeah, we're already generating and drawing too many cards. Startled Stomper is very good. Let's drop this here. I like making them discard. And let's try to give this some more keywords. Let's see how they block. Yeah, we could use the other one as well to actually potentially try to kill him. So we could drop Varus already. Sure.
I will surpass these mortal constraints. The arrow of retribution will find its mark.
I think we'll hold off to see what they do. We'll potentially use some of these for the barriers, but yeah, they don't want to attack. Makes sense. Summon, make a gem. That'll be nice. Oof, that is a little scary.
Sapphire, gem of our divine patron.
There's a price to pay.
Everything else is burst speed. I think let's still go right here. What do we really want to kill? That's going to die anyways. These two are massive. So yeah, let's silence these two.
Your will crumbles so easily.
So yeah, we'll try to get these off the board. And then we're doing really good damage. But we just need to be careful because, yeah, now they're starting to play those big units. It can be a very serious issue. Alright, let's drop this right here. We can go for the power since the units we're targeting gain barrier anyways. Make them discard 2 cards. I guess barrier for some of those doesn't really matter. Yeah, I think let's just pass.
forgiveness.
Alrighty. Yeah, I think we'll just let this go off. This has Overwhelm, which is nice.
These gems grant a wearer harmony.
I mean, we already have the Overwhelm, but we're also at full health. We could give more targets Overwhelm, but it also has the highest power.
Remember my words.
Do we even want to take the time to do the Overwhelm? I think let's just drop this right here. And then we can attack like this, and then that should be game. These are all burst speeds, so if we have to do more, we can. Alright, good. They both have Spell Shield. We're actually fine. I was a little worried there. Yeah, so we're going for Victor, Secret Technique, and Black Shield. We're trying to go for a build that focuses just on all of our units. That kind of helps everyone. A lot of the Varus builds are just solely focused on Varus, which I don't really like. It's strong, definitely, so don't misunderstand me in that regard. It is very strong, but it's just boring. I guess we can go for the Aphelios. Yeah, it's fine. Every time I tune in, too early or too late, no in-betweens. Hey, Giga. Welcome. Anyone else excited about that Oblivion remaster? What do we want to get rid of? We're normally not playing Defector. We haven't played it a single time. I think cutting card's probably the biggest benefit. Yeah, it can be good if we have Varus on the board, but I think we're good. Let's try to go for Lissandra with I Am Inevitable. Oh boy. Honestly, I haven't played the OG. Maybe we'll get it. I actually grabbed it. Maybe we'll stream it at some point. We'll see. Yeah, it's like I might. But it's been pretty good. Pretty fun. Gifts from Beyond. Sure, let's get rid of this. That stealth drop was insane. Yeah. I mean, I was planning on still doing like a mission of Doom, but potentially, maybe when we're done playing Path of Champions, we'll stream it a little bit today, just so you guys can kind of see what it's like potentially. We can hold on to this. This is fine. I didn't play the original one a ton. I played it a bit. I got through like some of the more iconic quest lines. I don't think I ever beat the game, but playing the new one actually has been pretty solid. Let's go for the Stomper. I love the Overwhelm and Crystal Carrier. Even with the Momentous Choice, we're not really gonna have enough to kill her. I still think let's try though, because this is gonna give us barrier. Oh, actually, it was enough. Damn. So she's gone, which is nice. We could drop Varus. Sure, that'll be okay. So that's one card. We could... Yeah, I think we'll probably drop a Moonlight when they attack, and then maybe a Hex Core. Although, honestly, silencing these two units... It's not even that big of a deal, because they're like an 8/8 normally. So it's not actually that helpful. Still, though, it should... Yeah, get rid of their Overwhelm, so we could have some of these smaller units block them. And then let's target this right here. So we can let him kill one, kill that there. Not terrible. Yeah, we have to be very careful of the Lissandra effect. A capture, a rally.
What good is mercy?
Sure, let's maybe try to attack right away. Let's go for this right here. Give both of our units that overwhelm. We could Relentless Pursuit and rally again. If we do this, everything is going to get cost increased. And the rally's not particularly going to help us. Yeah, that Frostbite was pretty rough. That had the potential to be a pretty good trade, but alas, not quite. We have one of these. A capture is okay. I think I kind of just want to get stuff out of hand.
Let me end our war. Our revenge comes first.
We're playing that one just to get it out of hand. All right, let's give our units the overwhelm. Or not overwhelm, the barrier. We'll drop this one here. All right, so not quite strong enough. Although when we play like one more spell, we should probably be fine. I kind of want to save this one for an entomb. Let's... this is just when you play a spell, right? When you play a spell, although it's at 10 power, and I think 10 power is actually maybe the maximum, which isn't necessarily the best. If we go here, though, we can trigger his targeting. Oh, it's still just 9 out of 10.
You feel it too.
So yeah, try to reduce down the damage as much as possible.
These jewels are more than mere trinkets.
So they potentially will have frostbites, but they could also have a buried in ice. We don't really want to mess with that. So I think let's drop this one here. We're trying to give our units the barrier.
Sapphire.
Yeah, I know the cost increase isn't great. We have not done like any damage to them yet. Yeah, we're not going to bother with possession. We also don't have spell shield, so they could frostbite us, which is really not great. I am definitely worried, but we'll see how it goes.
From the protector himself.
All right, they didn't have anything, so good amount of damage down.
Ages pass, but I am eternal.
All right, not great for us.
At last, I awaken.
Hopefully they don't open attack. All right, they didn't, meaning we can grab him before they attack. Now, we would love to, like, keep him, but... let's go ahead and grab him here. Okay. I suppose we can try to protect some of our units. Although... the barrier's only going to help a little bit. We might die regardless, just because of how big their attack is. Still, though, we'll try to drop some of these here. I think I'm going to play this because it's going to discard both of their cards. So that alone is actually going to be pretty big. So they don't, like, they have 10 mana left. So just making sure they can't, like, entomb our whole board is going to be pretty solid. Yep, they didn't want to attack. All right, I was hoping we'd be able to get him again. She's still gonna have that ice shard, which would be very annoying. What did he get? So we got double Titan's Axe, I believe it's called. Let's drop this here just to discard both their cards. So they have nothing they can do. But if we don't end here, they're going to be able to attack with their Watcher, which is obviously going to be a massive problem. But I don't really see how we can get around that. Like, nothing Aphelios does is going to matter. Except the stun. The stun could actually matter. I think let's just play this right here. So stun an enemy. If it's a follower, stun it again next round. So this will make sure he's stunned next round. They can't open attack. At least I think that's how that should be able to work. This is not going to be strong enough to kill them. That one's going to be fine regardless. Yeah, most of these attacking actually isn't really going to matter. Alright, let's attack with our elusives and our Varus. And let's kill Lissandra so she can't keep making that ice shard. Oh, I didn't mean to attack with the Poro Fly. It's worth taking champs to the 4 stars, leaving them there for resource management perspective as free to play. Yes, it is. All right, buried in ice. Not good. Very not good. Let's see if we can maybe get spell shield. Nope, doesn't look like it. All right, we are gonna go for a possession right here to try to get a unit, but they have big enough units that even with their attack, yeah, we have just enough to not survive, which is sad because we could have used possession next round to grab their Watcher. Yeah, not really anything we do. Well, GG. Sad. We should still have a revive. If we had just, like, anything else there that we could have won. Alright, everyone should be back. Let's go ahead and try again. Holding on to one of these is nice. I don't think I want Aphelios in the opening hand. Mountain Goat can be pretty good though. But I think, yeah, Mountain Goat has the... Huh. Alright. Let's drop this here. I mean, getting him off the board would be nice. So, sure. And yeah, we wanted to play that to discard 2 of their cards regardless. We can go for Aphelios. The Expanse isn't bad. I'm kind of want to hold on to mana for this in case they try to do something. Let's see.
All will fear and love our dark lady.
All right, let's give this some extra effects. Let's go for the gem here. We're trying to just get some stuff out of hand. Oof, that is a little rough.
I will remind the world of true power.
All right, so she's on the board. She's leveled. Watcher is still in hand. We'll hold this one for that. But we'll go for a possession here to grab one of their thralls. All right. I mean, it does suck killing her so they can drop another one and get another frozen thrall, but we can't have her on the board to make those ice shards because then everyone just scales out of control. Killing the other ice thrall is good, but also killing the Draklorn and Inquisitor is very nice as well. I think we'll go here. We can hit up both of these. We would like this unit to die, but yeah, not quite. Yeah, this should be fine. All right, let's go here. I like that we don't have to save mana since we have sorcery. We can drop Varus.
I am more than this. We are more.
All right, that is fun. Let's go ahead and grab this guy. Yeah, we're grabbing the fleeting, or we're using the fleeting ones. Sure, let's use this right here. It'll protect Varus. It will protect our biggest unit, which is that one over there.
What good is mercy?
So these two have barrier. This one does not, although they don't actually have anything strong enough to kill him. That one's also elusive. Sure, we're going to get a bunch more gems, which can be a bit of a problem. But we need the damage. Alright, so a buried in ice. Pretty much all of our units have spell shield. Although, yeah, the ice shard is going to strip the spell shield, so we're kind of screwed. Also, the ice shard is going to buff up all their units massively, so we're probably going to die. Yeah, these two together is a pretty nasty combo. This is going to go off. That'll trigger that unit, which means they'll be able to play their Watcher.
Stinging cold.
Yeah, it's a massive amount of elusive units. They will be able to drop their Watcher, but I mean, this would be a capture. I think let's maybe grab one of these. And then we can
Our arrangement is
capture their Watcher. Let's go for this here to silence two of these bigger units. And then let's go ahead and kill her. Because she's still doing a lot. This is also going to kill their unit, which would be solid for us. We don't want this one to block, because while we could reduce down the damage, letting them get their Watcher back would be pretty bad. So yeah, that's pretty terrible, but we survived, which is actually kind of a big deal. I'm kind of worried about what they have, so even though this is going to be 2 spells right away, which isn't great, I feel like making them discard 2 cards is probably worth it. That is a lot of elusives. I kind of want to play a bunch of gems just to try to heal up our Nexus a little bit. We have blockers at the moment. We could go for a gift, though, and get some lifesteal. So this is going to be a lot. Also, they're not even going to be strong enough to kill the enemy. Because if we drop this here, I mean, she does have barrier actually, so in that regard, it'll be fine. Yeah. Gravitum will be nice. And of course, they still have another Lissandra. All right, this will give us a decent heal. But I still don't know if we're gonna have enough to stop this, especially with their Ice Shard. And once again, they're doing Buried in Ice plus Ice Shard. Pretty much the worst combination. Even with us making them discard, it is not enough. Also, since we have a full board, well, I guess some of it's going to get killed first, which will be somewhat beneficial. Yeah, I don't think there's a way we're going to get out of this one.
Feel the power of true ice.
Like, again, we have a possession, which is great. So we have to play this first. We don't have anything we can play. Like, everything else requires a target. We have to play the possession, because that alone is going to one-shot us. But I don't think there's really anything we can do. Okay. I mean, if we play any... Like, if they attack at all, we're screwed. So yes, if we don't do anything, they're going to get this back, but that's still going to be better. So it feels bad wasting this much mana, but potentially that's the only thing saving us. So I guess we'll have to end. All right, so we have the Varus that we can play. He has quick attack. They have an Ice Shard, though. Aphelios has a heal on him. I think we can drop him here.
2 steps. Through darkness, I see.
We have to stun their Watcher. But regardless, we're really just delaying the inevitable at this point. All right, let's go for a gem. We can attack, but we don't even have enough to kill anyone. If we attack, they can play their Ice Shard. Yeah, them not playing their Ice Shard is actually a benefit for us. All right, Ice Shard. They're going to get their Watcher back. He's not going to be stunned anymore. So we could do one of these for a, well, barrier and spell shield. Well, it already has the spell shield, so that's not even going to help it. Yeah, this is not great. Let's go for this for another Gravitum.
It hurts because it must.
Yeah, we can give our units barrier, but the same issue is just the fact that they have Overwhelm and Elusive. Yeah, I don't really think there's anything we can do. I think we're kind of just screwed.
Speaks, Aphelios. You are its voice.
Okay, they just replaced their Lissandra. Interesting call. Interesting. I don't think Hexcore can actually give us elusive. I mean, we have 2 elusive blockers. It can give lifesteal, though. Maybe if we got lifesteal... We have 3 elusives now, so there's that. Alright, so we can have that one go there to still reduce down that damage, but then... Yeah, there's... Like, not really anything we can do. We're pretty much at max health. They just have too many big units. Rip. It was a good try. Yeah, it's just their crazy scaling. How they get elusive? When they play their Buried in Ice, it has the item on it that gives them an epic item, and so that gave them the elusive. All right, overall was a pretty good run. That being said, Varus does get kind of hard countered by Lissandra, and then also Lissandra with I Am Inevitable is even more of an extra counter. If they didn't have such massive overwhelm units, we probably could have been fine. We had really good sustain, but they had enough to just absolutely one-shot us because we were literally at max HP there, and we just couldn't block enough. So yeah, we had a good run. A little sad we couldn't come away with the win there. Overall, though, I do like the build. I like not having to focus just on your Varus and drawing him and using him to end the game. I like that this is helping protect all your units, giving everyone the double stats, and then the keywords, more spells. It's overall pretty solid. Yeah, they did get elusive twice. It's not the best. Thank you for watching that video, especially all the way to the end. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.